Shout out to the Black Squad. Listen, I have a question. Let's just get right into it. I have a question. Would anybody be opposed to giving the liberals their own fucking country? Would anybody be opposed to that? Like, we could give the liberals California, Oregon, and Washington State. And fuck it, we'll throw in Alaska. The liberals can have California, Oregon, Washington, with the added bonus of Alaska. How about that? Let's give the liberals their own country. Let's give them their own country so they can run that shit into the fucking ground. You know, the same way they've already ran California into the fucking ground. Let's give liberals their own country. And you know what's crazy about it, right? In this hypothetical scenario of mine that I actually really wish we could make possible. If the liberals were offered the opportunity to have their own fucking country, I suspect they would be vehemently opposed to it. I suspect they would be vehemently opposed to having their own fucking country. You know why? Because if liberals had their own country and they ran that shit into the fucking ground, they wouldn't have any conservatives to blame for it. They wouldn't have any conservatives to blame for it. I think that is a grand idea. Let's give the liberals their own fucking country. But like I said, in this hypothetically, if that were to happen, if liberals were offered the opportunity to have their own fucking country, I suspect they would be vehemently opposed to it. No, they don't want to run their own shit into the fucking ground. They want to run this shit into the fucking ground. So that after they run it into the ground, they can blame it on the conservatives. I would love for the liberals to have their own fucking country. Could you imagine? Imagine a country where Kamala Harris is the president and Gavin Newsom is the vice president. God damn. Word salad and forest fires, nigga. Just word salad and forest fires, nigga. Just damn. I think that is a great idea. Donald Trump might be the man who can make that shit happen. He's the deal maker, right? Somebody get this video to Donald Trump's desk. Come on, Donald, let's make this shit happen. Cook something up. You're the deal man. Hook up a deal. Hook up an offer they can't refuse. Let's try to give these liberals their own fucking country. Again, let's give them their own country so they can run that shit into the fucking ground. This shit is ridiculous. This shit is ridiculous. They are the worst. They are the worst. And they just keep... And look, man. Look. I don't fancy myself a conservative, right? But see, the thing is, sitting back and looking at it from a non-biased point of view, the liberals are batshit crazy. Okay? They are batshit crazy. And you have to be either batshit crazy or politically, I don't want to insult anybody. You got to be batshit crazy to be out here voting for liberals. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're either batshit crazy or you are seriously politically misguided. Or maybe you're of the LGBT community, or maybe you're an immigrant. So there's some you know, agenda, personal agenda that you have that the liberals are pushing. You know, if you're not part of the LGBT community, if you're not a feminist, if you're not an immigrant, I don't see any reason whatsoever you have to be voting for Democrats. They are fucking nuts. Damn near every form of degeneracy you can name that is being pushed these days, from from abortion to LGBT activities, it's being pushed by the Democrats. It's being pushed by these liberals, formerly known as hippies. I've been trying to tell people, all those tree-hugging hippies from the 60s and 70s, they didn't disappear. They grew up and they call themselves liberals now. And just like back then in the 60s and 70s, how the silent generation and the greatest generation were raising hell about these tree-hugging hippies, saying that they were going to fuck the country up. They were right. They were right. The silent generation and the greatest generation, they called that shit back in the 60s. They took a look at these fucking baby boomers. These fucking baby boomers who called themselves hippies at the time. The flower children, the tree-hugging hippies. And they said, these little bastards are going to fuck this country up one day. And they did. Well, they're on the verge of it. They're on the verge of it. They sure as hell are definitely running this country into the fucking ground. And that's who these liberals are. Those are your flower children. Those are your tree-hugging hippies from the fucking 60s and 70s that didn't want to do nothing but sniff cocaine, fuck, and smoke weed all day. And hand out flowers, thinking I was going to create world fucking peace. That's these bunch of idiots. Yeah, they don't call themselves hippies anymore. They call themselves liberals now. And that's what a lot of you people are running out and voting for. You're running out and voting for a bunch of tree-hugging, weed-smoking hippies. And you wonder why everything's fucked up. Look at California. Look at California. California, and as far as the states are concerned, California is about as close as you can get to the scenario that I proposed as far as let's give these liberals their own country. California is basically the pretext to what the fuck would happen if liberals had their own fucking country. They run that. The Democrats / liberals have successfully ran California straight into the fucking ground. But I think that's what we should do. We need to sign some kind of treaty or something. Let's give these liberals their own fucking country. I would love to see that shit. The funny shit is, if you gave the liberals their own country, Mexico would probably conquer their ass in a week. Who's gonna fight the fuck? Who's gonna be in their military? Think about it now. If you give the liberals their own country, and they got, again, let's say California, Oregon, Washington, again, throw in Alaska as an added bonus because who the fuck wants to live there anyway? All the liberals move there. So we're talking about all these pink-haired feminists, bunch of trans gentlemen, a bunch of manly-looking lesbos, and a bunch of fingernail painting type dudes. That's their military. That's their military. And listen, hey, I'm not even being hyperbolic, bruh. Recently, liberal women have been complaining about not being able to, find masculine liberal men. Because when liberal, like most people, when liberal women date, they like to date a man of like mind, right? It just so happens that it's very hard to find a masculine man who leans toward the liberal side of things politically. And it's, according to liberal women, this ain't me, according to liberal women, things have gotten so bad on the dating market as far as being able to find the masculine, liberal-leaning men that they're looking for, that a lot of them are saying, screw it, we'll just date conservative guys. Okay? So the liberal men are certainly lacking in masculinity. All right? You give the liberals their own fucking country. Mexico would take that shit over in a week. A solid weekend. Be one of the weakest countries on earth. But yeah, man. That was just a thought. I'm just ranting. Look, man, I'm so sick of these liberals. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of them. Let's, like I said, who else is down for that shit? I know I ain't the only one. Let's give the liberals their own fucking country. Again, let them run their own shit into the fucking ground. Give them their own country and let them fuck it up. All on their own. They know their policies are a bunch of bullshit. They know their policies are no good for this country. But they keep pushing the shit. Anyway, man. Let me get up out of here. Let me get in the crib. I'm going to holler at y'all later. I am Kenyatta Black. Shout out to the Black Squad. Until next time, and there will be a next time. Remember, bands will make them dance. But these hands will change your face. Deuces.